Okay, so this is about reflection. Reflection in the sense of a mirror. My face is reflected into this camera. It's reflected back to me, back to myself. The word reflected, which we will look up now, the German, because it appear. I don't know Hegel in the German, although I should. Reflection. Well, there's an image. We tend to think of it as an image, but it could be other kinds of reflection. I mean, audible reflection. Reflection in Hegel's German. I'm asking ChatGPT. Oh, Reflexion. Modern German often spells it Reflektion, but the Latinate Hegel consistently uses Latinate Reflexion, reflexion. Right, Reflexion, reflection. That's interesting. Aphex Twin's record label is called Reflex, Reph. Lex. So reflex and reflection. So that word reflexion, Reflexion, kind of combines both the word reflection and the idea of reflex, which is interesting. Especially considering that we now have the Aphex Twin association on hand. Reflex. Reflect. Reflected. Okay. We struggle to find ourselves reflected in society. We reflect ourselves to ourselves in society. We put on performances. We put on performances. We have jargon, such as the word the performative contradiction or the performative something or other, whereby a new state of affairs or a documentary state of affairs, a testimonial state of affairs, emerges objectively out of performative utterances. This is very big in the humanities in the 20th century, second half of the 20th century. It's all over American culture. Don't you know it? J.L. Austin, John Searle, Jacques Derrida, the performative utterance. Yes. To reflect. I reflect myself to myself. Gnothi asef ton. Gnothi se auf ton. Know thyself. I went to the Oracle at Delphi. Well, I mean, I went to Delphi. In other words, I went to Delphi. Went looking for the Temple of Apollo, or at Apollo, or whatever, however it's mentioned. I wanted to see, where does it say Gnophi Seavton? It was a Sunday. The whole damn thing was closed. Pardon my French. So I couldn't see my Gnothi reflected in my Seavton out there in here. The reflection was barred passage. It was barred passage. The reflection was barred passage. Aporos, aporia, aporos, no passage. Part of the crisis of legitimacy, see, we have an epistemic crisis, but we also have a crisis of moral legitimacy. Yeah! Is that if we assume that everybody just wants to be famous and see themselves reflected in more and more of the substrate of their own conscious attention from their perspective, they say, in other words, they want, from anybody's own perspective, anyone is just trying to get the world more and more saturated with their own self, confirmation, reflection, registering the existence of your own self to yourself. I mean, let's push the solipsism aside for a second. You're going to have to keep it pushed aside, because the solipsism starts tumbling in real quick unless you start taking seriously that reflection is deserving of what? Some reflection. Now, the idea I got, and I'll just come out with it because maybe it'll make the video shorter. The idea I got, this is a sort of apologia. Apologia? Robert Loggia. Robert Loggia? Apple logic. Logic. Apology. Apology. You know, like an explanation, an alibi, an excuse. Here's the excuse. I'm making an excuse for, wanting to see your goddamn image, dancing around in the minds of everyone everywhere all the time, right? And like buttons and shit. You started it, not me. I'm just, I'm just trying to keep up. I already have immediate self-reflection. I don't need the roundabout. Trust me, I don't need the roundabout whatever the fuck. But, even the least of us and the most of us need a little bit of a roundabout from time to time. Right. That sounds vaguely like some kind of innuendo. Anyway, I'm only human, damn it. What's a little recognition, confirmation of apology for wanting some goddamn recognition in a world of Kanye Wests and Donald Trumps and Kim Kardashians and whatever the fuck, right? Okay, good. We're on the same page. Capici. Capacious. Capacious. Capisci. Capaci. Capisci. Reflection. Here is my apology. I apologize to you, dear reflection. You are not as bad as they say they are. As they say they are. As they say you are, dear reflection. They are not as bad as you say they are. Okay. Here's the apology. My apology to and for the concept of reflexion. Use the Hegelian X and the aphexian ph. Dear Reflexion, I apologize to you, or no, I defend your honor and dignity, and by offering the following apology to society on your behalf. Yeah. Maybe you're just science. Maybe you are just science. How's that for an apology? What do you need? You need a timestamp. You need a testimony. What? You need a reflected reflection. That's what you need. Testimony. Science. Power. 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 Ho! 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 Whoa! 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 Douglas McCarthy, peace be upon him.